Have you ever thought about what GMO actually entails? We know that they're modified to help grow in harsher conditions, but what else are they modified to do? Today I'm going to be talking about those modifications. There are certain things that GMO foods are made to resist that have led us to use more pesticides in our foods. Now, this has brought about several environmental issues as well as health issues with people. Today I'm going to be telling you the reasons why we should stray away from GMO foods and go for organic, non-pesticide foods. Jordan Wilkerson, a Harvard researcher, talks about, quote, roundup ready foods. Now, what these are is genetically modified crops that have been made to resist Monsanto's herbicide Roundup. Now, this was implemented in the mid-90s, and since then, Roundup, specifically the chemical that they use in it called glyphosate, has shot up in use. Now, why is this a bad thing? Now, Emily Cassidy, a NASA researcher in earth sciences, says that there's a direct correlation between glyphosate and a specific type of cancer called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now, this puts consumers at risk as well as farmers who work the lands. Now, not only will this affect people, it can also affect biodiversity and overall environmental health. If you use a specific type of pesticide or herbicide in an area over a long period of time, what that can lead to is these pests and weeds building up a natural resistance. So the more you use it, the less effective it becomes, which means that they're going to have to resort to either stronger or less efficient ways of dealing with pests and certain weeds that are growing in their fields. Now, not only will it affect pests, but it's actually been shown to affect monarch butterflies. The monarch butterfly population has shot down tremendously because of the use of Roundup in crops. Now, taking out specific pieces of the food chain can be incredibly damaging to the world around us. The way that large agriculture companies have talked about this issue or addressed it is saying that they use the same amount of glyphosate that would fit in about a large cup of coffee for a field as big as a football field. Now, what this really is, if you think about it, is an equivocation fallacy. What they're trying to do is equate a small amount with harmless. But if you think about it, how strong does something have to be to use so little to cover such a large space? They're not saying that it's been proven to be harmless. They're not saying that it's 100% safe to be put on food. They're saying that it's so small, how can this even hurt anybody? Which isn't really a way to address this issue. It's just not accurate. It's not accurate what they're saying. This is obviously a harmful chemical that really hurts people, but they're trying to play it down by making it seem smaller than it actually is. So what can we do? I mean, it's hard to feel like we actually have a voice in these problems when we feel like we're an individual and these are huge corporations, but we do have a voice. I mean, we're the consumer. We choose if a company is going to survive or not. So what we can do is reach out to these companies. We can send letters, send emails saying that we understand that this is a problem and that we don't appreciate that they're not really doing anything about it. Yes, using glyphosate makes it way easier to grow food, but at the end of the day, it's hurting their consumers more than it's actually helping them. Straying away from buying those foods is also a great way to actually protest that problem. I mean, if we're not funding these companies by purchasing their goods, they're going to be more apt to change what they're actually doing. If we continue to let things go how they're going, we're going to have a really bleak future filled with countless environmental problems, countless health problems for you and your loved ones. If we follow it, that means a healthier future for our kids. I don't want my children to be eating chemical-ridden foods that we have a say in how they are produced. We can't really let these companies walk all over us. We're people, we're not cattle. We're not meant to just be given what they give us because it's what they see fit. And if it's unhealthy, we shouldn't be fed that. So please stop eating GMO foods. Contact these companies. Let them know how we feel. Thank you.